What's going on, everybody? Mr. Lad over here. We're outside today. It's a bit windy, a bit cloudy, but it feels great, looks great. We're in downtown Fort Lauderdale, one of the most beautiful places in all of South Florida, guys. Join me along the journey of this video where we talk about how to wash your car with no swirls. I hope you guys enjoy it. Please feel free to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and thank you all to my subscribers and those who support the channel. Let's get it. So I saw something interesting from a competing company, a local competitor, and they mentioned something in their website that I thought was extremely awkward. They said that when they come out to your house and they wash your vehicle, they do what's called the 3-bucket method with grit guards. I mean, we've been talking about this for years, and finally it's came to the point where people are busting out 3 buckets. It doesn't specify 2 for the vehicle or for the paint and 1 for the wheels. There's no specifications. It just says 3 buckets. And I think that is utterly insane, especially as a mobile detailer where I'm working outside. I'm working on nice vehicles, brand new vehicles with no scratches in the paint. And I'm able to safely and effectively wash the vehicle without instilling scratches. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to explain it real quick. Then I'm going to show you and demonstrate it, probably do a little bit of a voiceover on top of it, and we're going to go ahead and finalize the video. But guys, stay tuned. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm not going to make this a very drawn-out process here. It's actually quite straightforward. I just wanted to point out a few key intricate things that I do to aid me along the process for a safe wash method or system. First off, as you see, I am rinsing off the car. I've heard people say that rinsing can actually do damage, especially with the pressure washer, because the pressure of the water is smashing against the dirt, therefore it goes against the vehicle. And that is plausible. I don't discredit it. It just hasn't been my reality. So until I notice that happening, I'm going to keep on with the system. But also, I have a very light pressure washer, 1700 GPM. 1700 PSI, 1.2 GPM. We're not talking about much over here, just enough to really get some water on the car. Next, I got my foam cannon. It's the Meguiar's Hyper Wash. It's not the thickest of foams, but it is definitely thick enough. I'm still using the soap. I still like it. Haven't had any issues with it yet, and until I have issues with it, it'll definitely be a thumbs up or recommendation on my part. Letting the soap sit for, I don't know, 30 to 45 seconds, just enough time for it to kind of emulsify, do its action as I get myself prepped for the next process or the next step, which is actually the most important step. And here, moving in the back of the camera, make sure it's still running. But here, the soap is sitting, and it's emulsifying the dirt, softening up. It's kind of doing its work. But most importantly, you're going to notice I'm doing something. I've got a wash mitt here. It's it's probably the most expensive one I've bought, but it's not that expensive. It's about $11. I got it from Auto Geek. It's nice. I think it's from like one of their factory brands or something. I don't know. But I am just going over panel by panel, and you'll see I'm about to do the secret step, which saves all the time and energy in the world. And that's right here, me rinsing off the wash mitt with the pressure washer. I probably ran that pressure washer for 3 to 4 seconds. Now take 1.2 GPM divided by 3 to 4 seconds. It's not a lot of water, not doing much. But I am removing the dirt from the wash mitt, making it safe and effective. And so how I'm handling is, as I go panel by panel, when it comes to the top of the vehicle, I do the painted surface first, and then I'll go to the windows, because you really can't scratch windows. I mean, you might be able to, but I haven't noticed that. That hasn't been a reality for me yet. And so as I do panel by panel, I take my pressure washer, I rinse it off. I rinse off the wash mitt, and then simply what I do is I will go ahead and dunk the mitt back into the bucket. Watch that. Okay, so you see how I just came up there and I actually lifted up part of the wash mitt. It's another way of preventing dirt from getting to the vehicle. You know, just taking precautions, not overthinking it, but doing what you can in the moment that's necessary. And so I put it back into the wash bucket. I rub it against the grit guard at the bottom, and since I only use one side of the mitt and I pressure wash it clean after one surface here. It's pretty dirty right there, but we'll take care of that. I don't need to wash both sides of the mitt. That's less dirt to worry about. That's less hassle. Of course, you could take a couple wash mitts and go around, maybe have one wash mitt for the top surfaces and then another wash mitt for the bottom surfaces, however you want. You can't go wrong doing that. Just for me, it's not the most necessary, although I will, as time goes on, do some comparisons and figure out what's safer. But for me, this method has not done me wrong yet. I will continue to use this method. And I'm just about finished with this side of the vehicle. Just got one more panel left. And then it's pretty much a wrap there. It's quite simple process, guys. No need to overthink it. No need to overdo it. Just be safe and make sure you have a pressure washer. Take care of that last part right there. But yeah, there you go. And there you go. This has obviously been a short video, but I wanted to show you even up close. Like, this car is in amazing condition now. The sun's not out right now and it's rough, but what I did is I did a wash, as you saw with the method that I used. I had a grit guard at the bottom. Just after every panel or every section, I would just take out the mitt and I would rinse it off with the pressure washer, dunk it back in, scrape it against the grit guard, and go back to work. I went ahead and I did a prep solvent, did a body solvent to prep the surface, went over with hydrosilics, and you see the results here. Hydrosilics is not going to fill in scratches, but this looks great. So there you go. All right, guys, there you have it. That was how to wash a vehicle with no swirls, no scratches, none of that. When it comes to, when it comes to washing a vehicle and preventing swirls, what causes the scratches and the swirls is the dirt that is reintroduced to the paint. Whether that dirt is from, say, you drop your wash mitt on the floor, maybe it's the dirt from the vehicle itself, dirt from your dirty wash bucket, whatever it is. When dirt is reintroduced to the paint, that's what causes these swirls, scratches, marring, and abrasions in the paint. And so how do you remove that? Well, simply how you remove it is to have a flow of water that can lift up that dirt and pull it out of your wash mitt, whatever it is. And so people will use these 2 bucket methods, these, I guess, 3 bucket methods now. And they will use the first bucket as the rinse bucket, and they'll use the second bucket as their soap, lubrication bucket, however you want to call it. And I just think that, if you're going to be using a bucket with 3, 4, 5 gallons of water in it to rinse out your mitt, one, you're wasting water, meaning you're spending more money on your water bill, meaning you are less environmentally friendly, meaning that you also have less room in your mobile rig for another bucket or 2. And so I think you're just doing more harm than, not more harm than good. I just think that you're maybe making your process harder. And you're making your business model a little bit more complicated than it needs to be. I simply have a steady flow of water with high pressure that simply removes the dirt from the wash mitt. Now, I didn't go into specifics as to what wash mitt that was. I made a trip up to Auto Geek a couple weeks ago, and I picked up an $11 wash mitt just to try it out. I'm going to be experimenting with some new ones. James O'Brien, you recommended the Rag Company's Cyclones, I'm not sure, but whatever it is, the 2-pack. I'm going to be picking up some of those, trying them out. I'm going to try luxury microfibers. I'm going to try a bunch of different ones just to see, are they any different than the ones that I've been using, these Harbor Freight ones and these cheap ones? Is there a difference between them? And so, I'm going to be going that. So, but one thing I wanted to say, one, I think it's, it's definitely making your life more complicated when you do that. These 2, 3 bucket methods, you're making your life more complicated because of transporting all this water, these buckets which take up space. It's just so much more involved, and it takes time away from the detail. But if you are advertising yourself like my competitor was, as a 3 bucket method company business, you best better be doing a 3-bucket method, because that is what you're advertising. That's what you are putting before your clients, those who reach out to you and say, so-and-so company, I want to use you. And, I notice you have a 3-bucket method. Of course, they're not going to say, I notice you have that. It might, but most likely they're not. But if you advertise that and people say, hey, I saw your website, I'm interested in the service, would love to have you come out or bring my vehicle to your shop, whatever. And you don't advertise, you advertise it, but you don't perform a 3-bucket method, you are losing your integrity as a detailer, as a business owner, and even as a person overall. I'm a strong proponent of upholding your integrity. I believe that no matter what, if you want to be successful in business, you must maintain, uphold, and have your integrity, because if not, you're going to have a bad reputation. People are going to say, oh, they offer and advertise this, but they don't even do it. Well, you're going to lose a lot of clientele, and as well as a lot of respect, not even from clients, but detailers around you. And so when someone says, calls, if someone were to call me and say, hey, Million Reflections, I'm looking between you and so company, have you heard of them? And if I have, and I know they don't do what they advertise, I'm going to say, look, they provide a service, but unfortunately, they don't hold the mark. Now, am I going to be saying that? Me, probably not. But detailers will. Detailers are ruthless. And so I'm just kind of talking all this now. I don't want to make this too much longer. But simply this. You don't need 2 buckets, 3 buckets, 5 buckets, 29 and a half buckets to have an effective wash system to washing a vehicle, whether it's ceramic coated, just polished, whatever. You don't need that. What you need is a steady flow of water, or you need a water source to be able to lift the water off of the mitt there. And that's another thing too. If I put my mitt in the rinse bucket, that dirt stays in the rinse bucket, and even though some of it goes under the grit guard, some of it doesn't go under the grit guard, and it floats to the top, meaning it stays on the mitt, where with a pressure washer or a garden hose, whatever you use, it rinses it freely and it goes to the ground, never coming back to the bucket. So that's my thoughts. But I prefer my method. I do not scratch vehicles with that method. But if you advertise a 2-bucket, 3-bucket method, do it because you advertise it and you said you do it. So keep your word and do it. But that being said, guys, Mr. Ladd here signing out. I appreciate you all. Love you all. Let me know what you think about all this stuff in the comment section below. If you have any questions, feel free to put them down below. Anything you'd like to see me do, service, say, review, whatever, let me know. Would love to take care of that, and would love to meet the demand. So, but please, if you haven't already, slam the like button. Go ahead and put I already said the like. Sorry, I'm driving here. I'm on the way. I'm a drumline instructor for a high school. They've got a competition today, so I'm on the way to the school right now. That's why I'm dressed up like this, and so I'm focusing on the road over here as I get to the high school. But like the video, share the video, leave comments below, all that good stuff. Subscribe if you haven't, guys. I love you all. Thank you for all your love and support. Take it easy.